2, 1. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to 4 Pixels. Coco is here with Raj and Saku, and we are continuing Ace Attorney investigations.
Hello.
Hi.
I do apologise if you hear rumbling in the background. I have to wash something and it hasn't stopped yet.
I have to watch something, and so there will be rumbling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot what I was doing for a second there. I am Edgeworth. Hello.
Too busy thinking about Steam tabs.
Yes.
Yes, I know the joke is old, but I found a very good version that I had to share.
It made me want them. You were working as Ambassador Alba's bodyguard at the time. So naturally you witnessed when the Yatagarasu appeared, correct?
Do you like how fluffy this is? It's a fine linen, isn't it?
God, yes, I do. I really like how fluffy that is. I want to
Yeah.
touch it
It's
centimeters away.
Yeah, you better keep those centimeters away. Yeah, I saw the thief all right, with my own 2 eyes. The Yatagarasu was always there, lurking in the shadows. But when the spotlights were turned on for Ambassador Alba's speech, a shadow appeared. That's when cries of, "It's the Yatagarasu!" rang out. The next second, the spotlight went out. And by the time we got the area lit again, the deft thief had vanished.
Whoa.
When we investigated afterwards, we found that the reason the lights went out was because someone had unplugged the extension plug for all the outdoor electronics. Whether it was someone doing it on purpose, or simply a guest who had tripped over it, we don't know. But one thing is for certain. The Yatagarasu was here.
So you're saying that basically all you saw was the thief's silhouette?
Sorry, my music just kicked into gear. Isn't that awesome?
It is. I'm really jealous of your theme music.
Yes.
If all you saw was a shadow, then it's entirely possible that the shadow belonged to someone else.
Good thinking, sis. You just might be right. If it weren't for the fact that there was no one else with that same shape.
I don't know. Sonic the Hedgehog's got a similar shape. Could have been him.
Not among the members of the audience. Sorry. I get really thrown thinking about yeah, I gotta go fast!
I'm here to watch the embassy! It's gonna be really weird and not make any sense, just like my games! I'm at
Not
home
among
here.
Not among the staff or the audience members. My men have already done a thorough check of everyone, so I know I'm right.
Someone else's shadow. That sounds like a plausible hypothesis. The suddenly appearing and disappearing shadow of the Yatagarasu. I believe I figured out its true origin.
I expected no less from my subordinate. Now, let's hear what you know on this subject.
Everything.
Present.
It was me and my shadow puppetry skills. Nah, just kidding. The appearing and disappearing shadow of the Yatagarasu. Is it not possible it was created by this statue?
Objection!
Are you playing me for a fool, Miles Edgeworth? This statue bears absolutely no resemblance to the shadow of the Yatagarasu.
You are correct. However, this statue is but one part of the whole picture.
What do you mean by only one part?
What's the other part? The real form of the Yatagarasu shadow. It's this bit here.
It's another statue.
The Yatagarasu shadow was made from the shadows of these two statues.
Made? What do you mean by that?
Right now, the spotlights are all over the place. This is because they were moved when the guests were in a panic state. However, if we were to restore the lights to where they were when the thief appeared,
You believe that the two shadows will create the Yatagarasu's shadow?
precisely. Now then, watch as I reveal the true form of the Yatagarasu. First, if we set up a spotlight to cast a shadow of King Primadux on the battlefield. The shadow of the king statue would appear on the backdrop of the stage. Likewise, if we set up a light on the queen who spoke of love to King Primadux. Her silhouette would appear also on the backdrop to the stage.
Aha! So, if we were to combine the two shadows... It looks nothing like the Yatagarasu's shadow! Miles Edgeworth, how do you explain this grotesque shape?
Looks like a
Narwhal
narwhal.
person? Yeah, leave them
Narwhal
alone.
person with furry elbows.
Yeah, it's cold there, isn't it?
Calm down, Francisca.
I was just making my Mogeko OC.
The way the light needs to be shone on the queen statue is wrong.
Why didn't you shine it like that first, you daffy? Oh.
Because I was making my Mogeko OC. I just told you that.
Sorry, my mistake, Edgeworth.
What do you mean by that?
Okay.
Trashy fandom.
I believe the whole of the king's shadow needs to be used for this to work. However, in the case of the queen, I don't believe her whole shadow is needed. I believe the most important part of the woman is... Rather, the person who created the shadow only used one part of her shadow.
It's the second Futurama joke I've heard today.
Only one part.
Yes, just one. And that one part alone is enough to fill in the rest of the Garasu's shadow. He just projects one boob onto the screen. Single boob.
Francesca, check this out.
I made a boo-boo.
Why didn't you say that in the first place?
You know
You're
I love
right.
boobies.
I know, I thought you'd figure it out. I apologize. Now, what part of the queen statue was used to complete the Atagarasu's shadow?
How dare you?
Is it lefty or righty? Francisca likes to hold hands first before getting better acquainted with ladies.
I like, sorry to interrupt, I like how on the statue it's like, oh, a perfect human hand, and then like on the like projected image it's like how Roisin draws a hand.
Think back to what is missing in our shadow. 5 long, thin areas, correct? Now, what does that remind you of?
Ah, a foot.
That's right, it can only be a foot. Or the shadow of the Queen's left hand, perhaps. Francisca, can we please adjust the spotlight's position? Please, Master. So that it only shines on the Queen's left hand.
Alright, I'm going to ignore that. Let's give it
And
a
how
try.
easily
and
you
see
said it.
what we get. eats.
Yeah, this is exactly like the shadow I saw.
The culprit must have changed the spotlight's positioning beforehand. And then pulled the plug after people saw the culprit, what the culprit wanted them to see. In their panic, the guests must have moved the spotlights around, which we can assume was also part of the culprit's plan. By the time the lights came back on, the Atagarasu's shadow had vanished.
Which means that the shadow was a construct from the very beginning.
So you see, the Atagarasu never did visit Alabas tonight. The only country that thief visited was Babel, although it can be assumed that the Atagarasu had an accomplice in Alabast.
An accomplice? But who?
I haven't figured that out yet, but I assume it was the person who set up the shadow show. I sense that the biggest clue is yet to solving this case is the existence of this accomplice. Who say this?
Maybe bad? How was the...
Maybe.
I think it
Go ahead.
might be lying, but okay, you go for bad. That would make more sense.
How's the investigation going?
Yeah,
Whoa,
you were
baby.
right.
Detective Bad, have you come to join us in investigating the Atagarasu?
I've left the murder in Agent Lang's charge. And my only target from the very beginning is the Yatagarasu. So yes.
So, what have you found out?
I got a piece of evidence.
May I see it?
No.
Sure, but you might regret it.
We're here because we are ready to face whatever may come. So, if you please.
When people heard the commotion, bystanders started gathering. And one woman claimed, "I'm telling ya, I'm a genuine international journalist." She gave
Oh
me
no.
an interesting picture.
A journalist?
Well, actually, she's a freelance cameraman.
Oh no.
No.
This is the photo I got from her.
Yeah, just an image. He like accidentally showed them a selfie of himself like posing. He's like, sorry, wrong one.
I would love to see that photo. But what in the world? Is that a Dementor outside Azkaban?
The Yatagarasu is flying through the air?
The times, they are a-changing. It's not just man, but evidence. Even they lie to us now.
Dude, that's bleak. When was this photo taken?
Apparently right after the fires, on the 4th and 5th floors. On the 4th and 5th floors were put out. What? Okay.
What? It's
Okay.
cool, dude. I forgive you.
No, I get it now,
Yeah.
but it's just
Yeah.
threw me off because of all the ellipses. It was taken from a nearby building that you can see the embassy from.
See, whenever he does an ellipses, do a big as though he's sucking on that lolly.
I see. So this was taken after the fire.
The blur in this picture took off from the Babley's embassy, flew over the boundary, and headed for the embassy of Alabast.
This is simply not possible. People are incapable of flight.
Is that a fact? I've had the pleasure of dealing with a case involving a flying person once.
That wasn't you, that was me.
I was there too. We were both there, Francisca.
Actually, come to think of it, I've come across a case like that as well. Two, actually.
Maybe it happens more often than we think.
Am I up to the task of solving the mystery behind this photograph?
Trying to remember, what was the second one? The only one I'm thinking of is the circus case.
Yeah, there was Max Galactica, and then in the third game there was Larry drew a picture of Sister Iris flying across the bridge on fire.
Right, okay.
Yeah. And he was like, she flew through the air! And we won't spoil what was really going on, in case it's what's really going on here too. Well, the Atagarasu took off from the Babley's embassy, so I should start from there. Francisca, I need to return to Babel investigation for a while.
Alright. Yes? I wonder what that photo earlier was all about.
Indeed, the photo certainly was interesting. I believe this necessitates a need to investigate the Babley's embassy some more.
I suppose we have no choice if you are to conduct the perfect investigation.
I suppose so. I'll have to pass through the Theatrum Neutralis to reach the Babley's embassy. Like, why did you need to tell us that, Edgeworth? Do you really not want to go there?
So, the Atagarasu was just a shadow.
The calling card that was sent is what threw everyone off and made them assume things.
It's possible that all of the events tonight were part of the overall plan.
I'm going to continue investigating on the Alabastian side. You two, as I always say, don't do anything stupid, alright?
I wonder if he's alright. It's unusual for him to be so nice.
I think it's simply that he's concerned for our well-being, Francisca.
What? What adult does that?
I have no answer to that. I don't understand it at all.
Quick question, can you guys hear anything weird when I do this? Like, do you hear any sort of like clicking or popping noise?
No?
There's like a little tiny like as the sound rushes back in, but apart from that, it's like
Okay.
nothing. It's like I can just hear kind of like the ambient noise of the room you're in.
Yeah, okay, because I'm using the like little mute button on my Yeti for when I'm not talking to get rid of that, but I think even just like pressing that button sometimes makes a noise. Alright.
Tiny little click. but
Yeah,
that's-
it's more that it starts the noise back up rather than the click is disturbing.
Okay. Alright, thank you.
No worries. What a farce. Turns out that what I thought was the Yatagarasu shadow was just some statues instead.
It's nothing to be embarrassed about. Everyone was in a panic.
And here I thought you'd come over to throw some sarcastic remark in my face.
No, darling, never. Of course not. You and I were both of one mind in pursuit of the truth.
I don't like your tone. But what are we really of one mind, though? Sorry, I messed that up.
I'll be returning to Babel investigation now. I'll contact you if I find anything. I am messing all my lines up today. The word "the" keeps eluding me for some reason. I keep skipping over it.
Tahi.
I can spell it.
My use!
You sure are as stubborn as a rock.
How is the investigation proceeding on your end?
Like she says, that's top secret.
If you're going to attempt to imitate your superior, at least do it well.
I don't suppose he believes in the accidental leakage of information. Man, I wish I could get my roses in Animal Crossing to look like that.
I'll continue investigation on this side of the building.
Alright, I'm counting on you.
Welcome back, Mr. Edgeworth! Now, come on, let's get back to our investigation.
Yes,
Ow.
let's.
Ow.
I feel nothing. I've spent all my time with Detective Gumshoe. I've tuned out all my feelings and emotions. How else could I be so mean to him? I love the way the sprite looks when you enter a room. So like, I'm ready!
Is there really any place left we haven't checked out yet in the Babylese embassy?
Interpol was conducting its investigation when you were being held by Agent Shinar. Because of that, I was unable to examine the fireplace and the Secretariat's desk.
True, and since he's here, we should talk with Ambassador Palaenomore. Palaenomore.
Only if he stands up straight.
He looks so sad and lonely since we all constantly mock him.
I have no feelings. Yes, he does. He probably is sad and lonely. You are correct. I have a few issues I still need to discuss with him, though.
I have a few issues with him.
We should make the best of this opportunity. I'm sad he doesn't get to stand on that stage and act like a rock star.
March 14th,
That's for Grumpy.
10:37 p.m., Babylese Embassy, Secretariat's office.
If the ambassador would just stand in the middle of those wings, he could get a great selfie.
To think, after all that running around, we're right back where we started.
It would appear that way.
Hi, Mr. Edgeworth.
You.
Have you found Maddie's killer yet?
I'm terribly sorry, Ambassador Paliano, but I have yet to find his killer.
Then I guess his murder really was work of the Yatagarasu.
Alright, let's get one thing straight. It was the work of the fake Yatagarasu. The real Yatagarasu is a noble vigilante who is only out to steal the truth.
Miss Faraday, please don't make such a sad face. If there's anything I can do for you, all you have to do is ask, alright?
Mr. Palaeno.
Actually, there is one thing you can do. Will you allow us to take...
my arm so nicely.
Well, so you do things for me. Will you allow us to take another look around? We didn't have enough time to conduct a thorough investigation earlier.
Oh, sure. Please, feel free to investigate to your heart's content.
Also, there are a few questions I'd like to ask you personally, Ambassador.
If it will bring a smile back to Miss Faraday's face, then I'll gladly answer anything.
Thank you, Mr. Palaeno. You're a total gentleman.
You don't have to waste such nice words on me, little miss.
Hey, Sir Palaeno!
Hi.
Those two sure got chummy awfully quick.
You know, it's easy to say we're going to investigate, but where should we begin?
We should probably start by comparing the statue of this room before and after the fire. And then we should look into the matter of the suspicious person you spotted.
Yeah, when I came into this room, that person was already gone. But I'm willing to bet that that person I was chasing is Mr. Cochin's killer.
We don't know that yet. However, it's hard to believe that person is unrelated. Furthermore, because the key the Yatagarasu stole 7 years ago was found here, it signals that perhaps Ms. Yu is also somehow involved.
I knew it! That woman is almost definitely Mr. Cochin's killer.
Yet again, we don't know that. There are too many mysteries to be solved in this case. Speaking of the Yatagarasu and mysteries, I received a most mysterious photo from Detective Bad. It was such a cute selfie, but then he gave me this one.
Huh? Uncle Bad? He's taking part in the investigation too?
Yes, he has been chasing after the Yatagarasu for all these years.
Uncle Bad.
Bad uncle. Now then, I was told this photo was taken just after the fire.
What? That kind of looks like the person in the long coat I was chasing. Does this mean that I was chasing this fake Yatagarasu after all?
I don't know the answer to your question, but I don't think people can fly either.
But this could be how that person escaped.
Well, we'll need to investigate a bit more before we can say anything about that. In any case, let's not dawdle anymore and pick up our investigation where we left off. I know the selfie Detective Bad took. He was standing in front of that butterfly before. He's like, I've got beautiful wings!
Yes? Okay, bye.
No.
Bye.
Sorry, you're too adorable. I need to get my
Sweet.
bearings before I talk to you. A grandfather clock. This one resembles the one in Alabast.
Oh, that clock has been with us since back when we were still Cadopia.
That is one big clock. Hey, does this one have a bird that pops out like a cuckoo clock?
No, dear, that would be a cuckoo clock. I'm sorry, but no. Oh, but I'm sure you'll love its chime.
Really? It's going to be 11 soon, so maybe I'll get to hear it then.
Is it that time already? Time sure flies when I'm involved in an investigation.
Oh, it's not that late. The night's only just begun.
Hey, it's not good for you to stay up late, you know.
Yeah, Gramps.
I'm just polishing the clock face.
Thank you.
It looks like all the souvenirs suffered some damage from the fire. I just don't believe it. Murder on top of arson? What a disgrace to the name of the Yatagarasu.
The fake Yatagarasu is guilty of much more than just theft, it seems.
I know.
Jay walked on his way across the street.
Oh. Because if it were me, my first priority would have been to loot this bookshelf.
You would steal ordinary souvenirs that you can buy virtually anywhere.
You can't buy them anywhere. Each one is specific to a location and has its own value. And items that have memories attached to them are the most valuable of all. You can't replace them.
But could you really rob someone of their valuable memories just like that?
Watch me.
Sorry, that reminds me of this. It's a stand-up comic. I cannot remember the guy's name. I'm sorry, but he's telling a story about like a party he went to at some kid's house. It was the typical like my parents are out, and about everyone in the neighbourhood came over.
Yeah,
Not just
I think
the
that
people
was Dane
who got
Cook.
invited. I think it was Dane Cook. Yeah. Anyway, at the very, very end, he went to some other kid's house, and the kid was just like, "Come on in here, I've got something to show you." And it was all the photographs from that house, just the photographs. And there were photographs of other families and other houses, and he was just like,
I think it wasn't
Why?
it the ashes or something like of.
I don't remember if
grandmother
he
or
mentioned
something?
ashes. I just remember the kid talking about the photographs. But, and here's the thing, because we mentioned Mogeko earlier, somebody set like a video up as though Aidate was telling the story, and Sal was the kid who stole the photographs. I'll need to see if I can find it for you, Coco. It's not like Clutch Your Side's funny editing, but it's like funny to imagine these characters saying that.
Yeah, yeah. I think I might have seen it. I think so.
Probably.
No, because even if I can take the souvenir, I can't take the owner's memories.
It looks like he's holding her by the scruff of the neck.
Don't
Right,
take them.
okay, no stealing souvenirs. We still don't know where the blade of the Babbly's knife went.
Is nobody going to talk about the fact that like 2 men could fit in that shirt?
Or one gumshoe.
Or one gumshoe?
Could it be that the killer walked away with it? Now then, Ambassador, I'd like to ask you about your movements before the fire broke out. What kind of dance moves do you do?
Oh, well, I learned the Charleston, and I'm not too bad at walking the dog and things of that nature. I'm still perfecting my. Oh, sorry, you meant what I did before the fire. Which fire are you talking about?
Which one? There was more than one tonight.
Huh? Oh, I see. I guess you didn't hear about it. We had 2 fires. 2. Here at Babaly's embassy tonight. What a bother all that was.
So that's 2 fires.
Wait, but the only fire we know about is the one after the Jammin' Ninjas show.
Yeah, well, the first occurred at the start of the Jammin' Ninja show. Luckily, only the 4th and 5th floors of our embassy caught on fire.
Oh yeah, lucky.
That could have been all of them. Not wanting to cause a panic among the theater goers, we decided to keep it internal. Then,
Then,
much like repressed emotions, the fire exploded out of the windows and everyone saw it. Sorry. Then the fire after the Jammin'. Sorry, that was someone else's line.
are you alright,
Exactly.
Ambassador?
No!
So the fire I witnessed was the second one. Come to think of it, didn't Detective Bad make reference to the first fire? When was this photo taken?
Apparently right after the fires, on the 4th and 5th floors. Again, this one tripped me up. Apparently right after the fires on the 4th and 5th floors were put out.
That makes sense now.
Yeah, you gotta take out those damn pauses.
Apparently,
Nice.
after the fires on the...
I suppose this means the photo was taken just after the first fire was put out.
So then, what was the extent of the damage in the second fire?
The fire was contained to this floor, the third floor. I think it was leftover embers from the fires and the floors above it that caused it.
That's... how should I put this? A very bad stroke of luck.
My office on the 5th floor, Manny's office here. And Manny himself. All gone in the blink of an eye.
That was very sad.
Thank you.
I feel so sorry for you, Mr. Palino.
Look at me going on and on. Now then, what was it you wanted to ask again?
But
What kind of toothpaste do you use? Your teeth are sparkly white.
It's a charcoal one.
Cool. Keep telling Phoenix we need to get one of those.
we will leave this episode off right here. Thank you, folks, for joining us, and see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.